Hello, beautiful. Today I'd like to work on putting in my Bible on this page the technique called washi tape technique, which basically we're just using the washi as a base for the other things. There was my Liquitex gesso that I'm going to use. It's white, and I also have some clear. These are watercolor paints. I hardly ever use watercolors, but that's what I'm going to do today. Here I'm just adding some water to them, and you'll see that I move some of the red over to the yellow because I know that I want that orangey color. That's a bad way to do it, but it looks like that's what I did. And I'm just going to put some water on the other colors. Now this is just, I want to frame out this page and put a base color down. So you absolutely don't have to use what I'm using, and you don't have to do it the way I'm doing it. This is just my idea. So here I'm going to thin down this blue quite a bit because I want just a light wash. And I'm going to do the frame in blue. You see that this is not, I'm not trying to make it straight, and I'm not trying to be, specific. I'm just trying to lay in a little bit of color to frame out what's going to happen next. And actually at the end it turned out I I messed up my frame. There's no frame. Next I'm going to use the yellow and kind of put some boxes into the mix. This looks really green on the screen. It's not green, it's more of a pale yellow. And I did 2 squares of that, and then I did 2 squares of the ochre with a tiny bit of red in it. You probably want your colors to sort of blend or mix when you do this. You don't have to do squares, but whatever you do, you kind of want them to flow into each other on this bottom layer. Now this is I call this the lab. This is where I test things out and then make notes about how much I like doing that technique. And I try different things. Like here I tried gesso with sanding afterwards. This was a magazine page, this was not. And so here I have gone and done this, what people are calling the washi tape technique. And I have put in the, I painted this page just like this one. And then I put washi tape on the page. And then here is what I didn't like about it for doing this in my Bible. I used this fiber paste, which typically just has a good texture to it. Well, it's a little bit dry, so it was a little lumpy. And I did add water to it, and I tried it that way, but I don't like this texture for being in here. And then I dripped some distress stains and also just some watercolor paint down this to get the darker color, and I don't like this, so we're going to do it differently over here, and that's what I'm going to do now. So let's go to the world's largest washi tape collection and pick out some tapes. The tapes I used there were dark blue and different things, and that was one of the things I wanted to look at, was with a different type of tape, how does the gesso do, and how does it work with each texture. That's one of the things I do in my lab. But we're just going to start all over. So I think yellows and maybe oranges or reds. Let's do this. Let's do these. and maybe a little bit of music notes. So now when you're doing this, you can be as relaxed about it or as picky about it as you want to be. I'm probably going to just tear my tapes, but you could cut your tape to have straight edges. As you're going to see in a minute, it won't matter how your edges are. I think I'll put this right in the middle and then work around it. Now, if I had stopped right here, or when I got these few pieces of tape on, I would have been okay, but I went forward with a shape that wasn't what I had in mind. Here's kind of what I was thinking. Or this shape. This is most like what I was going to do, but I just ran all over it. I don't know if it's to overlap these or not, but I've overlapped some of them. And there's also apparently a question about whether you really need to gesso over this or not. I am going to, because I figure the tape, you know, washi tape doesn't have that much staying power anyway, and I want to be sure it stays down. So I'm gonna put a few pieces going up and down, and then I'll be done. Okay. So there's that. Now, I'm going to take the matte gel, the matte medium, which mine is, again, another one that's really thick, but it'll be okay. I'm going to go over all the tape with the gel, and this is also going to cover all the watercolor paint that I put down so that it won't be running in the next steps. It should not be this thick. Your matte medium ought to be more of a liquid. Mine's just old. I'm afraid to put too much water in it because I'm thinking it could get mold in it or something. And like most artists, I'm cheap and don't want to go buy more. So someday I will. All right. And I'm just going to leave this to dry for a little bit. Okay, I feel like that's dry enough. So now I'm going to take my white Liquitex gesso that was the original gesso that I put down on this surface and spread a little bit of it around. Now, this is wrinkling this page, but we can always iron our pages later. So I'm going to try not to worry about that too much. Hey, I'm back and I've knocked the camera over, so I'm sure everything's crooked. I'll try to straighten it out with the software. Since I didn't care for this page, I got out all these inks and glimmer mists and things to see what was going to work on this page. I'm trying not to buy things but to use things that I already have. So as you see, I have a lot of options here. Did I use that one? I don't think I used that one. So I chose just the facing page in my lab notebook. I'll show you in a second because I've got it propped up so that I can, oh yeah, I think I did use, yeah, I did use that one. Okay, so I have it propped up so that things will run, but sometimes they don't run. So I didn't prep the page. Now, if you don't prep the page before you put these inks on, a lot of them are not going to run. They're going to absorb. And that's what happened with this one. This is just an alcohol ink by Ranger. That's funny because the other one ran, I think. But that's where you see the drops. It just goes in. The one you just saw me do was up here and it just sinks in. I tried the calligraphy ink. This one is kind of covered up now, but it's here. You see it's sort of thick and sinks in also. The lighter one is, that one's dried up, so it wasn't that. Anyway, there's a lighter one around here somewhere that I liked. This Winsor Newton ink, Brick Red, ran here. It ran down nicely even though the page isn't prepped. Now, of course, in the Bible, we've already prepped it. We did the, what I mean by prepping is we either put gesso or we put matte gel down, and we've done both. So that page, the colors will run a little bit better. What I didn't want to do, I have lots of Lindy's products. I don't have the Magicals, which I saw one lady was using Magicals. I have these Glimmer Mists, and I love them, but I didn't want this page to be sparkly for some reason. So I tried all these different things on this page. This is just a distress stain. But I did like, I also had in mind the colors kind of yellowish and orangish. So this is Glimmer Mist. What color are you? I don't know. Anyway, this is a Glimmer Mist. And this is a Starburst from Lindy's Stamp Gang. And I liked those, of course, the best. This is the darker one here. And up here, I sprayed the lighter one. You can't really see it because it's similar to so many of these colors. And I sprayed a little of it over here because I kind of liked it. So, still didn't improve this page very much. If I worked on this, and I used pens and probably like a gold gel pen and a white gel pen, and I think I could improve that, but that's not really what this is about. I need to write in what I liked and didn't like about this, and the same over here. But now we kind of know what's going to work on the Bible page. And I kind of hate to start it because there's a lot here I'm not liking that I'm doing recently. And anyway, I'm going to get the Bible. See if we can fix that. Okay. So, what I liked, one of these alcohol inks I wanted to point out, this one is called Mustard. I don't know where I got that name because now I don't see it, but this other one is a Tim Holtz, it looks like, and it's called Sunshine Yellow, and it's not showing up Sunshine Yellow. It's coming out exactly the color of the other one, as you can see. So I'm kind of surprised, but I'm going to shake it a little more and try to use it. And I guess I'm going to go ahead and drip them one at a time so you won't be able to see everything. Yeah, that's going so much better over the gesso than it did on the normal page, of course. Well, now it's looking yellower on here also. I may have to take back what I said about the Sunshine Yellow. So you just want to let it go. Now you can control your drips. If you don't want it all the way down, dab it with your paper towel, okay? And down at the bottom I kind of dab because I don't necessarily want everything running off the paper. So there's the first one. Let's see how this shows up. I liked this a lot. This is calligraphy ink in gold. And I'm just going to use a paintbrush for that. And yellow. That looks really good. Now I've still got the sprays, but I thought I would do some controlled things first, or more or less controlled, and then I will do some sprays at the end. Let's put a little more of that maybe over here, and then some water to help it drip down. And hold it up. The puppy. Now, do I want more of the gold? Probably. probably over here. And remember, I wanted to accent the music, so I'm trying to leave the music notes. I'm laughing at the dog. We are his third home, and he's 5 months old. So needless to say, he's confused and he's not sure what he should do, and he thinks he's bad all the time. So I'm trying not to tell him no if I don't have to. He can chew up the box I was going to make a journal out of, and that's fine. Let's see now. I guess the other colors were sprays. If you use ink with a paintbrush, be sure you get it out quickly. Now, I like the lighter spray the most. Yeah, here's the finished page with the spray inks. And it does have shimmer. I don't know if you can see that with the camera or not, but it is shimmery